Look at this. Look at this handsome gentleman. Look at him. This is Dracula. Oh my god, you are so heavy. And he's like pure muscle too. Yeah, this is Dracula. That's who he is. He's like the appetizer. He's like the appetizer that they give you before a horrible meal. And you leave the restaurant and you're like, well, at least the apps were good. Like, that's what this is. Look at my cat. Just look in the lens. There you go. Look how handsome he is. Okay, now you gotta get the fuck out of here. Mwah. I am eating popcorn during this shit. Not because I think it will be entertaining, but because I think I deserve just a little treat. And also because I just did Bridgerton and my stomach was growling so loud. I'm like, people are gonna hear this like gurgling, grumbling noise. So yes, I will be, in fact, eating some. I should dust my shelves. Why didn't you tell me my shelves were dusty? Why didn't you? You look at them. You look at them all the time. Why didn't you tell me? I feel betrayed. I feel like this one time, I'm putting salt on my popcorn. It remembers me this one time that I went to a board meeting and I saw all sorts of people that day who I thought were my friends. And then I came home and there was a big white nose hair that came out and like curled around as if my nostril had a fancy gentleman's mustache. Nobody told me. Not one of them. Not only did E.L. James watch Poldark, she also watched Bridgerton. Because tell me that this is not for Bridgerton. Because I just watched this episode of Bridgerton. I just watched it. Like an idiot, I turned toward the closed door and will Lessia to join me. If she doesn't, I don't know where we go from here. And if she does, she can remove my cufflinks and undress me, and we'll go to bed and fuck and spoon and hold each other. Yeah. So he thinks about how the nightlight is in their bedroom, so she'll obviously come get it. She doesn't come get the nightlight. And he turns it into an episode of Gallivant. She's abandoned both my dragon friend and me. Not Ted Cooper! Just in terms of unnecessary bullshit. I remove each cufflink and start on the buttons, fatigue wrapping around me like a shroud. I get it, a shroud, because his life is so empty and joyless because he won't have conversations with his wife. And everything is just nobody talks to each other. No, I get it. I get it. But why do I have to hear about him undoing his cufflinks, like undoing both cufflinks, and then working on the buttons of his... Just fucking move it along. This part here has officially crossed the line from bad writing into camp. I'm not kidding. Okay, listen. He's thinking about Kit, he's thinking about this whole thing with his mom, everything that just happened. And then there's Kit, my half-brother. Did he know? Rowena didn't answer the question. I cast my mind back to the New Year when we were at the hall. Not now, Maxim, he'd snapped as he stormed out of the kitchen back door into the dark, icy night. And I'd turned and watched my mother stalk down the corridor, her heels tapping their brisk, percussive beat as she walked stiffly away from Kit's office. Had they been talking? Fighting? I don't remember hearing any raised voices, but maybe I was my usual oblivious self. If she had told him, he'd have known he was an imposter, and he might lose everything. And he would have been shocked and dumbfounded and furious, and that's probably what spurred him onto his Ducati. Anger at Rowena. And now she has to carry that guilt. His death is on her. He'd lost everything. Except he hadn't. Not really. Only he and Rowena knew. Fuck a duck. Nope, not kidding. Didn't add it. Literally, that whole big thing that I just read to you, yep, all that, just fuck a duck. Fuck a duck, my friend. Now I'm eating this popcorn out of rage and neuroses. I need some people who know about this stuff to please tell me, would Kit have lost being the Duke or what the fuck ever they are? Would he have lost that if he turned out to not be his dad's son? Is it really based on blood? Would that be an instant you've lost everything? Or is that just some outdated thing that she's thinking? I mean, it is an outdated thing, but I don't know if it's true. I feel like maybe that might be true of like the royal family, like the immediate heirs to the throne, but I can't imagine that it means anything if you're like fucking 49th in line, right? I said he was gonna blame his mom. Well, this fucking charmer, he not only blames his mom for his brother's death, I'm hiding my mouth because I'm eating and talking. So he not only blames his mom for his brother's death, but he notes that he'd never seen her cry about Kit. And he says, perhaps before then she grieved in private. I'll never know unless she and I talk. How about this? How about just assume? Just assume your mother fucking cried when her kid died. Jesus. This has unseated 50 Shades Darker for worst writing I have ever seen in published fiction. We go into Alessia's POV. She'd watched her husband kiss another woman, and she left because she didn't want to witness his betrayal. Is that so unreasonable? Then she arrived back at his apartment, and she'd been berated and found thoroughly wanting by her mother-in-law. Oh, shit, really? Really? I forgot. Thank you for recapping this. And insulted, too. As if Alessia is motivated by money. It had taken all her resolve not to rip the earrings from her ears and toss them at Rowena. All Alessia wants is Maxim's love. I cannot get enough of a book where the author just says it to you. Just totally tells you. Just says, yeah, this character, her motivation, like, is because she wants love. That's, like, all she wants. She isn't motivated by money. What she wants is love, reader. I just want you to understand that. So I'm gonna write it, those exact fucking words, basically, in this. Jesus Christ. I am bleak about publishing a lot of the time. But this is... wow. I'm sorry if you saw popcorn in my mouth when I just did that. But I'm not cutting it because I have to live my truth. Hey, do you want to relitigate every single doubt that Alessia has had since the very beginning of this book? Or really, for the whole book. What has he done to make her think he doesn't love her? He's explained the kiss. He can't help how women react to him. He's probably had to contend with that kind of attention since he was in his teens. And what hot-blooded male wouldn't take advantage? Oh, they just can't help themselves. He only changed when he met Alessia. She saw the proof, or lack, in the wastebasket in his bedroom. We know. This has been pointed out. She goes back through the whole thing about how he's been with other women. She is still stuck on this. Maxim's given her the world. Is that not enough? Why is she so insecure? The other women. Thanks. Thanks for asking the question for me and immediately answering it directly to me, Erica. That is perfect. She has to learn to trust him, and now he's explained about that kiss. He's given her no reason not to, and if she does doubt him, she has his permission to question him. He's asked for that. Confront me. Talk to me. He doesn't mean that, Alessia. I'm sorry, he seriously doesn't. By the way, nothing is his fault. The hole in her chest deepens and darkens. He'd received such troubling news, and he didn't think he could share it with her because he thought she might leave. Does he think she's so faithless and lacking in compassion? Where's the sense of partnership in her reaction? I want to point something out here. First of all, back when she's thinking about how then she arrived back at his apartment and she'd been berated and found thoroughly wanting by her mother-in-law and insulted too is in italics. She is like a character in one of those old like Disney shorts where the narrator would talk and the characters would interact with the person doing the narration. Okay? That's what this reads like. Where's the sense of partnership in her reaction is in italics as if it is a thought, as if she is thinking of herself in the third person. The writing in this book is painfully bad, and I know I say objectively, and I know people are going to say it's not really objective because all writing is subjective, but just in general, in the rules of how the unwritten but established rules of the genre as to certain things like, you know, thoughts being in italics unless, you know, otherwise pointed out somewhere. You know, dialogue having quotation marks around it. There are just certain things that readers have come to expect and things that readers want to see. And the writing in this, if this is what readers want to see, then I believe I need another occupation. Guilt slices like a scythe through her heart. She's been so absorbed in her own misgivings that she missed all these clues to Maxim's state of mind. And then she starts going through this whole thing about like how everything has been so much worse for him than it has been for her. And she has been the one, she is terrible. She is terrible for not... No, he didn't talk to you, you didn't talk to him, you're both terrible. Congratulations, you're both fucking terrible. I don't even know what's going on here, because we hop back into Maxim's POV, and he's like, and I have my wife's insecurities to deal with. As if we are already having a conversation with this man. And I'm going to tell you how this happens. I haven't read ahead, but here's what I think happened. What I think happened here, and now as I'm slowly starting to realize with this dawning horror, I am slowly starting to realize that a lot of spots in this book where the paragraph breaks don't make sense is probably because E.L. James does in fact have a developmental editor, and the developmental editor flagged something and said, we should, before Alessia comes into the bedroom and they have sex, which is what I assume is going to happen, but before Alessia comes into the bedroom, comes to him, we need to understand why she's going to him. And E.L. James thought, it might be very difficult to get this across, and I might have to explore it further, and I'm not interested anymore because I already wrote Maxim's part, and he's the only character I find interesting. What I'll do is I'll go back and I will jam in a POV section into an already written piece. I will split that. I will jam the new section in. I will write the new section as lazy as possible, and then we can just glide right back into the POV that I'm actually interested in telling the story of. That is what happened, and I feel like I am having a high blood pressure emergency at this point. She did not even delete the and. She did not even add a new little thing about, like, as I sit here enshrouded in my horrible sorrow over one tiny fucking fight, when really I should have been honest and it's my fault. You know, nothing. Just, and I have my wife's insecurities to deal with. Because let me tell you this. The last thing he thinks is how the hell do we come back from this? And then it jumps into, and I have my wife's insecurities to deal with. Tell me that that is not the immediate thing following that. He calls his mom a bitch again. There's absolutely no way for E.L. James to get through writing a male character without making him a misogynist asshole. He's calling his mom a bitch. I don't care. I don't care. I have a problem with this. I know some people's moms are genuine bitches. I know some people call their mom a bitch because she is a bitch. But in this case, in this thing right here, he is calling his mother a bitch, and he has been awful to her for this entire book. And the reason for him being awful to her seems to just be that he doesn't like that she has sex with younger men and spends a lot of money. And he blames her for the parents breaking up, which obviously now, yeah, she had an affair. But he is like so in love with his frickin' dead dad that I'm, oh my god, this is so terrible. He starts just running, you know how like her thing was like a review of everything we already fucking knew? He does the same thing where he thinks about, oh, maybe she won't get over my past. I don't understand this. Maybe it's the culture thing. I don't even look at other women because she's so amazing. And what if she leaves me? And remember when she was kidnapped and how sad I was? I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding about that. I remember when the arsehole spirited her away and how devastating that was. Like, oh my god. She's the one that got kidnapped, and he's gonna bring it up anytime they have a fight for their entire marriage. She comes in, he lifts his head because he sees her feet, and she says she's sorry, and he's like, so am I, and then they're crying, and he's like, this is my fault. The eyeliner is referred to as coal again, which some, people in the comments, thank you for informing me that that's just a fucking weird way to refer to it. Like, is it supposed to sound rich or something? I don't. And then they say they're sorry, and she cries, and then they get in bed, and they go to sleep. There's no sex. I'm sorry. I thought for sure there was going to be sex. He has a dream about going to identify his brother Kit, but when he looks at, you know what? Ugh. I was gonna try to explain all this shit. I'm just gonna read you the fucking dream, okay? My footsteps echo an urgent beat on the hard reflective floor, and I squint beneath the unremitting light of the fluorescents. I've been here before. This way. The A&E consultant stops and opens the door to a cool, stark room that is in the hospital mortuary. I don't want to go in. I don't want to see. The A&E consultant stares, scarlet lips pursed. Rowena? In you go, she says in a clipped tone that's not to be contradicted. Inside, on a table beneath a sheet, is my brother, Kit. No, that's not him. It's me, lying bruised and broken. ... Cold ... Dead. Dead! What? From my prone position on the table, I watch Kit lean over and kiss my forehead. Goodbye, you fucker, he rasps, the strain of unshed tears heavy in his throat. You've got this. This is what you were born to do. He smiles, his crooked, sincere smile that's reserved for those rare moments when he's fucked up. Kit, no, you've got this wrong. Wait. You've got this, Spare, he says again, then disappears, and I'm looking down at him once more, leaning over him while he sleeps. Except his battered body belies that. He's not asleep. He's dead. Dead! No! Kit! No! The words stay stuck in my throat. I can't speak. This is all wrong. And I'm outside the waiting room, watching my mother walk stiffly away, her heels beating a terse tattoo on the tiled floor as she moves farther and farther away. Rowena! Mother! Mama! Oh my god, E.L. James's dream sequences are always hilarious because they're so literal and so cliche. So he wakes up from this nightmare and he's like, I mean, did I really not know? Because, you know, Marianne and I share the similar coloring and Kit didn't look like us. But now we gotta start saying shit about the dead brother, right? Now that he's like not a blood brother, now that he wasn't the real Earl or Viscount or whatever, now that he's not that, Maxim is like gonna look the fuck down on him hard. He was blonde and blue-eyed, driven and imperious. He was harder, more arrogant, and meaner, maybe, than both Marianne and me. It's been a revelation that he made Caro attend etiquette classes. He was always a bit of a snob, and I wonder if he knew deep down. You know, he's a snob because you guys are rich assholes. It didn't have anything to do with a family secret. Alessia wakes up, and she's like, oh, you know, you're gonna figure this out. Everything's gonna be fine. And it comforts him, and then they go to sleep. And that is the chapter. The chapter is that they said they are sorry and they went to bed. But first it was a rehash of every point in the book. Just literally just a complete rehash of everything that has happened in the book. So that's exciting. Like, comment, subscribe, check out the description box. Down there in the description box you will find links to a fantasy romance series, The Ogre's Fairy Tale Bride. It is, right now it's a serial on Kindle Vella, Ream, and Patreon. By the time you see this, the first season will be complete. So if you go and want to start reading it, you can read it all in one go. That first season is complete. It ends on a cliffhanger, but the first season is complete. So yeah, if you are watching this video and you are hating me for not liking your favorite author and you're like, do you think you can do better? You can go check that out and throw a little money in my pocket. Otherwise, I will catch you on the flip side.